doing that now, you know what I mean? Working with parolees, right, or people on probation. I think there needs to be more organizations that do that, you know? I think as a city, you know, or as just companies, we need to be able to take away that box of saying, you know, have you been incarcerated before? You know, because that, you know, prevents a lot of people from just applying to a job, right? So it's something that, and all they want is to work. They don't, you know, they don't want to go back into prison, at least most individuals. They want to be able to make a good living, but they can't because the structures in our society do not allow that to happen. So I think that, you know, and I think there needs to be, you know, a movement for that, you know, where young people are addressing it, you know, adults are addressing it, you know, different people are addressing it, and really build, you know, and enforce or try to, you know, convince people to take that out, definitely.
Also, what I've seen is that it's a cycle within our communities, because communities who have like more people going in, who are being incarcerated, they come out back into their communities and can't find a job, and it just keeps going for generations. So what I was thinking is, what are we as a youth like gonna start off to do to not end up in that same path, to avoid it, to not end up in jail, don't do things that are gonna have those same consequences, because you'll just end up in the same cycle that they did with no help, with the help that they don't have. So how do you do to prevent yourself from being where they are? Questions or comments?
I have a question. Tim, you said that you provide support for the citizens, for the fellow citizens that are using or selling drugs or stock. How can you do that? Like, how would you make yourself to people that say they don't know another life to live, other than they want to stop but they can't, because if they stop and have no way to get their clothes or food or support their family, how can you help them stop?
If a person is a drug dealer, it immediately says to me they have some skills. Number one, they have skills as a salesperson. They have strong mathematical skills, because you've got to be able to calculate how to get your money. We've got to help transform people with those skills and move them from the drug culture to another culture. For example, obviously, some people think that they're not going to make the kind of money working for Macy's, selling, being a salesperson at Macy's, that they would make on the street. But we've got to help, first of all, help people understand, it becomes a mindset. We've got to help people, first of all, understand the harm that they're doing to the people they're selling the drugs to, and the disruption of family life. Now, while this sounds like not talk, the truth of the matter is, I'm a firm believer that if people have the skills to sell drugs, they've got the skills to do some other positive things. We just got to help find a way to help transform them. Does that make sense?
What about Tony? I think it makes sense, because it says we will not make negative judgments about people based on the mistakes they have made, color of their skin, their culture, or their religion or education, their age, or social status. But it says in the Bible that no man or living thing can judge somebody unless it's God.
So it says we will, so referring to ourselves.
You can't judge anybody. The only person who can judge somebody is God.
Exactly. It says we won't be making negative judgments.
Adding to that,
they are, but that's their decision.
adding to that, God doesn't stop us from judging each other, because it happens. We see it all the time. People judge each other. Oh, look at her, look what she's wearing. Or look at him, oh, I don't like his jeans. Oh, look, he looks grimy. That happens. It's not based on God. Like, God, exactly, God is the only person who judges, but in reality, everybody judges each other, and we want an end of that. And we want to start here with us.
And that's what's called free will. What God does give us is free will. Free will means you can do what you want to do. That doesn't make it right. And so because that doesn't make it, because it's not right, what we've got to do is just what I think the class is saying. We've got to change the way people think.
And start with us, with our own mindset. Because everybody judges each other.
We can't say it doesn't happen.
Exactly, because it does. It does. It's out there. It's everywhere, not just in here, out there. It's everywhere. Everybody judges each other for everything.
I get judged all the time. I get judged by being a mean person, by being, a lot of people probably like say I'm a cop or something. You know, I get judged all the time, left and right, from young people. Does that make it right? No. Do I fit that judgment? I don't think so, right? Not that many people really know who I am, right? So, but they judge me about what they do. You know, so I think it is right in terms of what the other panelist says. It's just like, we got to start changing our mindset about, you know, how and why we do that. Because, and it goes into like the prejudice, right? It's just like, we look at the differences, we look at it, and then we make a judgment off of it. Or, oh, that person has to be that way because that's how they look, right? Or that's how they've been acting, so that's how they're going to be, right? But it's not necessarily, not always the case. You know, I think part of this, and I think this statement is being mindful about that, right? Understanding and being conscious about the intention of not to do that. Instead of just, you know, oh, you know, this person is this way, instead of automatically just judging them like that, just go up and ask them. Find out more information, or just, you know, get to know them, to really know who they are as a person, right? And I think we will not make judgment or negative judgment about people based on the mistakes that they've made, because, you know, people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's part of being human. And that's part of also, you know, the steps of learning from our mistakes, right? So, but nobody should be judged about what they did yesterday or last year or 5 years ago, right? Because that's something that hopefully has helped a person build their character, right? So I think that is what, you know, they're talking about, is let's not have that block in our mind for us to stop interacting or stop to get to know people.
And also to understand each other. Like, not have that one-on-one, but actually, like, think about, like, why is that person like that, you know? Like, actually understanding and putting yourself in their shoes before you actually go and end up hurting them more than what they are, because nobody knows what everybody goes through. Everybody has different problems. And based on the way you actually go towards that person, you can actually, like, mess them up more than what they are. So we have to start and actually, like, thinking before we say something.
We're basically calling for a change in mentality. Do you guys have any more questions or comments?
Okay, for number 6, it says, we will not allow any setbacks, problems, issues, or drama keep us from using our ability to become the best students possible. So I know a lot of people have drama in their lives, you know, even in senior class have some drama between other senior class members. And so as a senior whole body, you guys create these rules, so when you go address the issue to the person you have a problem with, to clear up that drama, you know what I'm saying, so that you won't go off from your senior class knowing that you still have drama from the past.
Right, and also not to let it affect how we act in class, how our work turns out, and who we are as students. That makes a point really to who we are as students, but also you have a point, like, to address the issues that we have with other people, to not let them stay there and, you know, like, become the senior class that we are.
But what if, like, somebody's really struggling with family problems or something, like, how would you guys help them with that?
We try to create a community within ourselves to where we have somebody, at least one person that we trust is our community. Mr. Williams, when we first came to this class, he let us know that he is the person that is here for us, that he comes to class not just to teach us, but to be a person available for us, with, like, anything or something that we have to do. So we try to create a place where people can trust at least one person within ourselves.
And also, we all know her parents. She's always there for us when we need help. Many people go to her, and then sometimes she'll be coming up to us, asking us, oh, how are you today? And many teachers of us do that. Like, they ask you, how are you feeling today? Do you have anything? Or like, even when they even tell us, like, if we have something going on that's going to affect you on how you're going to do today in class, take a break. That's what Mr. Williams tells us all the time. If you don't feel like you're ready to be in class today, let me know and I'll understand. It's basically communication. You have to learn how to communicate with others so they can understand your position and where you stand at that point.
Let me, somebody's hand.
On number 8, it says, we will advocate for companies that operate and are wish to come to our city to hire disenfranchised people. Does that mean basically what you are saying, like, you will try to stop people from, like, coming to our city and taking over, like Oakland, like, say, like, somebody from, like, Dublin or, like, a rich community, and then trying to, like, put, like, the low profit organizations and stuff together and like put a stop to it. Is that what you're saying? You're trying to put a stop to them coming to our city?
Well, it says we would advocate for. So if it's something positive coming to our community, like for instance a business that wants to settle here, that's going to create more jobs to local people. So advocating is like speaking for them. So maybe not everybody, like they'll probably be like, oh, they're just trying to come in and like create our own businesses or something like that. But advocating is like, we would let them know, like, that's not what they're trying to do. It will create more jobs and might actually be a positive for our city. So it will be speaking for them, not like trying to stop them. Of course, if it's something negative, then we would want that. We would want to do that.
Something like with that question, I think in mind, just very briefly, we're really trying to bring, companies and businesses to be able to offer paid internships for a selected number of students, right? That can demonstrate that they can be responsible and stuff like that. That can be able to have some type of job to be able to get at least a stipend or some type of money back into your into you, right, for you. So I know that sometimes, a lot of times it's very difficult as young people to find jobs because the jobs are very limited, even as it is. But I think it's just also not only bringing it to the city, but also how can we bring it to schools, right? And be able to have students be able to experience maybe a career or a job that you're thinking about, that you want to pursue in your future and getting some experience with that, So it's stuff that, we definitely, I think as a school, we've been really thinking about how can we bring opportunities more opportunities for young people to figure out, what they want to do for the future. It was really good to hear at the founding meeting that, one of the students that came up there that he found out what he wanted to do, and that's why he's taking school seriously now, because now he knows where, what he needs to do to get there. So I think that's part of the discovering of what you want to do as young people. And then how can the school provide services and resources for you to be able to further explore those possibilities?
And to wrap it up, any last comments? Any comments from the panel?
Thank you for having me. I think that the 10-point mandate for peace is excellent. I think it's well thought out. I hope it can really become a part of their lives. I also hope that other classes will be able to adopt a similar kind of mandate. As both of the panelists have said, the only way things are going to change is if we want them to change.
Thank you guys, and let's have a positive panel.
So